is Sophie. I'm the founder of Heart of the Rose and Brotherhood of the Rose Festival. And I just wanted to make this little video just to update everyone with what's happening this year. I've been quite quiet on social media the last few months. And that's really because after doing Heart of the Rose for 4 years now, and it growing to 500 women, which was amazing last year, but also doing the Rose Temple at Medicine, and Brotherhood of the Rose, and my own projects, and also my autoimmune and own health stuff, I needed to take a bit of a break after last year. And what was interesting was actually that was the guidance. The guidance said to hold off moving forward for this year just yet. And I was really trying to work out at the end of the festival last year, because what's weird is every year it's been really clear the next step and what date to do and everything like that. But last year the guidance really was to wait. And I wondered, are we meant to take a fallow year? Or was there something else that might want to be birthed? So I went into very deep meditation for the last few months of last year, and prayer, really just to try and work out what was for the highest good or what was being asked. And then I went to very deep stillness during the Holy Nights. And it was actually on Epiphany this year that the guidance came. And it said that this year the gathering would be online. And this was because the specific guidance said it is time to connect the global Rose Sisterhood to help reactivate the Divine Mother Grid and birth this new golden age. So I was like, okay, I guess that's the guidance. That was quite clear. I didn't really, when I got the guidance for doing Heart of the Rose many years ago, I was shown to also birth something called the Sisterhood Community. And I thought and always felt like maybe that would have a more permanent online platform alongside it. But I didn't realize that it was going to be as soon. So that's what I've been doing these last few months, is really just seeding, dreaming, visioning, listening into how this wants to take form this year. And I'm very excited to start sharing about it. So the summit, the Heart of the Rose Global Summit, will take place between the 26th to the 28th of September 2025. And we're going to have a host of epic teachers from all around the world. Rose teachers that have been teaching on this lineage for many years. I've been teaching on the Divine Feminine, on the Magdalene for many years. I'm so excited to share the lineup. And I'm also super excited because we're going to be inviting the brothers to join on the Sunday as well. I could share so many more videos on what transpired last year of Brotherhood of the Rose. But I'm very excited just to create this space that welcomes the brothers too, and all Rose beings. And what's really important about the summit, because for me it's so much more than a summit, because what the guidance was to not only have a space for people to learn about the Rose and connect to the Rose, but also we're going to have regional hosts. And these regional hosts we're going to invite sisters to not only watch the summit alone in the bedroom, but to also connect with other Rose sisters and Rose brothers and Rose family while watching. So it'll kind of be like a festival. It's like a festival summit, but around the world. I was really touched over the years. We had so many women come from literally around the world, from Australia, from South Africa, from Florida, from Canada, literally just for the weekend, to meet other Rose sisters. And that really touched me, because a lot of them shared that they didn't really have that community where they were, and so they were willing to fly many hours just for that weekend. And so this year I feel like you don't have to come to us, we're coming to you, and it's an invitation to kind of connect to other Rose sisters in the world, because it feels like, as has been prophesied, we're in this very powerful 20-year period between the shift of the ages. That's also why it didn't feel right to have a fallow year this year. The reason I was meditating so deeply was because although I was exhausted, I realized it didn't feel right to not do anything, because This really is such an important time for us to gather, for women to gather, for men to gather, for us all to gather in the heart in service to the remembrance of the feminine within all of life, so all of life can start to come back into balance again. So this is the hope around the regional hosts, that it's an invitation to join together, to meet in community, to create these epic rose family Sangha communities in your certain area of the world. Ultimately, to start to reactivate this grid, and this is another really important piece that we're going to be doing at the summit, is inviting temple birthers to join too. So for me personally, I got shown, it was 18 years ago, that the land that I'm currently on, where Heart of the Rose takes place, my family's land, I got very clear vision that I was to birth a temple of light here this lifetime. As the rose started coming through in the last few years, it was very clear that this was going to be a rose temple, and actually a temple to Isis, to the Divine Mother. And I've been speaking to so many amazing beings over the last few years who are also being called to go to these certain areas of the planet to start to rebuild, rebirth these temples in service to all. So we're going to have a 2-hour prayer ceremony, really big prayer ceremony on Sunday evening of the summit, where we're going to invite all beings that are being called to birth these temples to light a candle across the world to help to start to activate this Rose Christic Divine Mother grid, and just bring more love to the planet that is so needed right now. So I'm so excited. This feels so much more than a summit. It feels like it really is going to be like a global rose prayer for humanity, as we transition at this time, remembering this way of the heart, remembering this path of embodied awakening, remembering the mother, the feminine, not in negation of the masculine, but so all can start to come back into balance again. And what I'm also really excited to share is that this summit is just going to be the very beginning of a more permanent online community rose platform that I will be birthing with two epic sisters, Anais and Bianca. And we are going to create this global rose community network. The summit will be kind of the birth of it. And that's going to include education. It's going to involve courses and workshops and podcasts. It's also going to involve events. So that's in-person ones like Heart of the Rose, Brotherhood of the Rose, online ones. And also it's going to be a non-profit, a kind of Rose Foundation that's going to help raise money for the birth of these rose temples all around the world. And Anais and Bianca will share more about this in the coming weeks. But it's all about that by creating this kind of rose foundation that is in service back to the mother and back to the earth, back to the land, back to the heart, it's going to be cleansing this kind of patriarchal money back into the hands of the mother, back into this Aquarian age from I to we. It's going to be very powerful, and I'm very excited to share more as the weeks progress. I'm hoping to launch the lineup around Mary Magdalene's feast day, so mid to end July, and really hope that you guys can join. Yeah, it feels so much more than a summit. It feels like it's going to be very powerful, and we're going to have very different level tiered tickets, so it's going to be accessible to all. I'm just really excited to share more. And thank you for taking the time to listen, and thank you for your patience as well around me sharing and sending so much love.